Welcome back to Walsall Fan TV. We've had another signing on Forum Day. We expected that, didn't we? I'm heading off to the Forum very shortly, but before that, we want to talk about Flynn Clarke. I don't know much about him, but we just happen to have Will Grant, who is the knowledge on the Norwich team and the Norwich under-23s particularly. Hi, Will.
How are you? How are you? Sorry.
Good. We've had a busy day, but we're all on it.
So what's the signing? Is that for you now? Is that number 5, 4? Is it your first one?
13th.
What is it?
13th signing. Yes, we bought a new squad. We did get rid of about 10, so it's sort of.
So where did you finish last year then? If that's kind of like a revamp in a way.
I think we were 16th. I think last season.
Yeah, 16th.
Something like that. So it was not good. But we played the Villa on Saturday. Got beat 4-0. But
oh man,
it was.
Can I ask you a question? Was Emi Buendia any good?
Who?
Emi Buendia.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah. In fairness, I thought Walsall looked very good. I know that might sound a bit daft saying that when you've been beat 4-0, but we have played Aston Villa, who are a very good squad, obviously, and even with some of their youth mixed in and that sort of stuff, they're still top quality opposition.
Definitely.
So the Walsall players, the new boys, were really impressive. One particular guy that was impressive was Isaac Hutchinson, who was playing in the cam role. So when we get note of Flynn Clarke, which is a strange combination of names, bearing our manager's Mike Flynn and our previous manager was Darryl Clarke. It's like a love child of the two, isn't it? and he's a cam, isn't he?
Yeah, Flynn's a cam, but he's also played in a range of midfield positions this season, and he's also played at striker as well. But normally he's played in the kind of attack midfield role. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you think of him? What have you seen much of him?
Yeah, I've watched him all season. He came from Peterborough last summer, so he's only been here for about a year. So obviously, I haven't seen him for like 3 years, but yeah, I've seen him definitely this season, and he's really impressed me. It was quite a slow start for Flynn, maybe because it's like a new team, and Peterborough to Norwich is quite a jump up for him. And with Peterborough aren't in the most. I don't think Peterborough are in a Category 1 academy club, so the quality is a bit lower compared to what he's used to with Norwich this season. Yeah. I don't know if that kind of showed in a way, but between the start of the first few months, August and September time, he just kind of seemed to look a bit out of place. But maybe that's just because he wasn't fully fit and he was just getting into like a new team, really. So you can't really kind of say, I wasn't expecting too much from him instantly in a way, because I think that's unfair.
Yeah. But you say he started coming good in the Premier League too?
Yeah, definitely. So probably November to like March. So during that kind of Christmas period, he really accelerated. I think mainly due to the fact was because he kind of played in an attacking midfield position, so like the number 10 role. He also played striker a few times as well. And what that did, it kind of gave him a bit of responsibility in a way. And with responsibility, I kind of feel like he's the kind of player that thrives off that. So just like in the number 8 role where he.
Yeah, we lost you a bit there, I think.
And that was a bit unfair.
Yeah. How big is he? Is he a big lad or a?
Yeah, I'd probably say around 6 foot, but I wouldn't say he's renowned for kind of headering the ball out. So, but speaking of kind of like the topic of headering, really, he's kind of like a set piece specialist. He was the one that took a lot of our set pieces in our team, and that's quite good going because we got a very technical player. Also, in the summer we signed Liam Gibbs, and he was new with Flynn Clarke, and Liam Gibbs and Flynn, they kind of rotated set pieces. So, and obviously Norwich rated him highly enough, and he was obviously our free kick taker normally, but he also did take corners when Liam wasn't playing.
Yeah, well, we've not got we don't score many goals from corners or from free kicks, or many goals at all, to be honest. So we're hoping that's all going to change. We're hoping that's all going to change.
I hope so. I think the thing with Flynn is he won't probably be in the box scoring them, but he's got really good technical quality. He's got a great right foot. So maybe maybe about 25, 30 yards out, he can maybe score a free kick here and there. But I wouldn't I'm really cautious to put too much pressure on him. But I think he's a very good player, and I think the way I look at Walsall, and I know, is it Michael Flynn's manager now, isn't he?
Yeah, that's it, Mike Flynn.
Yeah.
Dad. Yeah.
Is he? Yeah. And Newport County, you were kind of renowned. I don't think you're playing like orthodox like League Two football. I could be wrong in terms of like direct football is kind of very progressive. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think passing the ball around 3-5-2.
Yeah, and that's why I think kind of why Dean Smith for Walsall is a very good opportunity for him, because Norwich are kind of a very progressive team now as well and good on the ball. So I think maybe that kind of suited him.
Yeah. Dean Smith, what do you think of Dean Smith? We loved him at Walsall.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah, I've heard some good things about Dean Smith at Walsall and the miracle he did. I think the jury's still out for Norwich with Dean Smith. I think this season's crucial for him because we're obviously the favourites to probably go back up, despite Belly making some great signings. But I think the thing with Dean, I'm a guy who's very kind of trusting in managers. I want a manager to have 5-10 years at a club and kind of build some sort of legacy. And I'm willing to give him time. That season was nothing short last year of an absolute crap show. I can't lie to you. It was it was a chore going to Carrow Road, and that shouldn't be what football's about. But we just looked so out of place. But I think Norwich is a very good club for him, because I think any of those other 19 clubs, maybe bar Brentford, I think would have got on his back a lot, because you can't really be being so poor in a Premier League side. But I think luckily at Norwich we aren't the most kind of like forceful fans in a way. So it was okay for him.
I think given time, he's really good with developing players and organising the club and that sort of thing. He did great stuff at Walsall, in fairness. So we always wish him well, and any team he's managing, we wish well. So just got a couple of messages coming through. Am I going to the forum? Yes, I am going straight to the forum after this. And happy with the signing, says Nivy Boy. So that's good. So it's one of those you always have to wait and see. He's quite a young player, and Isaac Hutchinson is probably going to be the first choice.
Okay.
But of course, with 5 subs next season, that squad is going to come into play, isn't it? So bringing him on last 15, 20 minutes and that sort of stuff, picking out a pass, scoring a free kick and that sort of thing. Do you think that would get the best out of him?
I'll be honest with you. I think the thing with Flynn is he needs time and rhythm. And if he's come off the bench, I kind of worry a little bit, because we sent out a player on loan, in Tom Dixon Peters. And he went to Gillingham. And I thought he could be really good at Gillingham, because Gillingham were lacking goals. And I kind of thought he might get a chance, but he was always off the bench. I think Flynn Clarke's a player who needs rhythm and time, because there was times in his first start when he first played for under 23s where like he was a bit kind of he wasn't really like kind of like expressing himself as much, and I kind of worry he might kind of go into his shell for a bit. I think you need to give Flynn time to maybe in the Johnson's Paint Trophy, or the Papa John's, whatever it's called, or the and the cups. Maybe that might help, but I feel with Flynn he needs rhythm, and I think he needs a bit of trust, and then I feel like he can come good.
Yeah,
I think you've got to be patient with him, but I think if Flynn is patient with him and all you are, then I think I did think he'll come good. But obviously, this is League Two. This isn't bloody like development football. So he's got to earn the money straight away. You can't kind of invest time into players, because the most important things is 3 points on the Saturday or the Tuesday night or Wednesday night.
Yeah,
whereas
it's a whole different world,
academy level, it's kind of a bit more kind of like player selfishness in a way that it's sort of about developing themselves. So that's kind of like the hard balance to strike in a way, I say.
Yeah, I think coming from Premier League 2 into League 2, it's like when something you enjoy, you can play a game, but this is not a game; it's a career and it's a job, and that's every point counts. And you've got to fight for everything, absolutely everything. It's not, I don't feel quite up for it today. You've got to play every game 100%. And let's hope he does well. It'll be good.
No, I think he will. He's got all the kind of technical quality to do well, but you've also got to remember the thing with League Two and League One. I don't know if it's got more kind of like physical or it got more physically demanding. It's more kind of running. It's more kind of, I don't know. It's more kind of physical and it isn't as technical. But I think it'd be really interested to see if Flynn can kind of add kind of like physical capabilities to his game. Obviously, I think obviously improve his engine, his kind of mobility as well on the ball, playing against seasoned pros. I don't know what kind of like your kind of player like average age is like. I think maybe having someone.
We've got an interesting blend. We've got some very old players. And some young players too. So it's a good mix, really. I think in some respects. I say football in League Two, it varies really. You do get some teams coming to bruise you and just long ball specialists trying to bombard the penalty area.
Yeah.
But you do get teams that want to play as well. And it varies. Forest Green played some very good football last season and got themselves promoted. Exeter as well, another one that went up.
And that's also the challenge, I think, as well for Flynn, is how he's going to adapt to kind of different teams and different kind of styles. To be fair to Flynn, he isn't like you don't associate him as a player who's going to win the ball back many times with high pressing.
No.
But he can follow good pressing passes with the two strikers. He's a willing runner, and he can also pick up space as well. It's going to be very interesting to see kind of like how he blends into that, because obviously it's going to be different for him. He did play some professional football, like first team proper football at Peterborough in the Papa John's Trophy, and he scored an absolute worldie. I recommend if any of you got any time tonight, like 2 minutes of your time, he's got an absolute peach. I think it was like, I think it was 2 seasons ago now, and oh my god, it was like a crossbar in hit. He absolutely.
How was that for Peterborough in the Papa John?
Yes, against Cambridge. He absolutely hit it with so much power. Crossbar in. It's a lovely strike.
I'll have a look at that after. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely would. But it might get you too excited. You know what people say about like YouTube compilations and stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, well, we've had a couple of players like that. You look at them on YouTube and you think he's going to be brilliant, and then you realise that they only do that every 8th game, which we had with Emmanuel Al-Sadibi, that we've moved on to Bradford. I think they'll have a shock if they think he's going to do it every week.
So with kind of like Walsall this season, do you think you have like a settled lineup, or will it be a bit kind of mix and match?
Well, Mike Flynn had sort of announced that he wanted to have 2 players for every position. And quite often the manager will say that, but it looks like he is well on the way to getting that. And it looks like Flynn Clarke will be the cover for Isaac Hutchinson. Yeah. So it's which of those is doing the business will get the start. And that's competition for places. One thing Walsall sort of have struggled with is putting the ball in the net. Really, we've had some really good play.
No, you feel last season.
We've had some good play and that sort of stuff, but it's just we struggle to get that shot out, get that shot away, get that shot on target, and that. And players like Flynn Clarke and Isaac Hutchinson, hopefully they're going to contribute from midfield, take the pressure off the strikers, and also be able to put a few strikers in for some finishes. So hopefully,
I want to reiterate the point again. Now, I think I just think Flynn needs to kind of have like a solid baseline in which you play to players who have played like 10 plus games straight, because I think he's really good when there's like a solid foundation there already, and he can kind of just slot in and do his thing. If it's a bit mix and match, and he's getting like 45 minutes against Bradford, and then like he's getting like an under 21 game against Wolves development side. Just I think he needs to run their games, but maybe if you're saying he's cover, then maybe I don't know how to work out. Obviously,
it's one of those things you have to work your way into the team, don't you?
You do.
If you work your way into the team, and then it's your place to lose, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how Isaac Hutchinson did it. Was it Crawley last season he was at? I think it was Crawley on loan. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think it was Crawley. Yeah, I haven't got me.
So.
It's looking well for Walsall next season. I think exactly where we'll be. I think I want to see a few more pre-season games before I sort of nail my position to the wall, as it were. But,
I think Flynn, he also had a playoff kind of push in the development side this season as well. So Norwich are in the second tier of Division 2 football in the under-23 league. So that's kind of like the equivalent of the Championship in like the first team setup. And he also had like a playoff push this season. So I think he's kind of used to kind of having a bit of pressure and a bit of expectation to kind of get in some kind of goals to kind of get some more wins and stuff like that. I think there was a game this season. I think it was at Carrow Road. It was late season. It was about April, and we absolutely peppered Sunderland under 23s. And Flynn Clarke he had a major role to play because we played Brighton away that day. The first team did, and a lot of our best academy players went to that game to kind of join up with the first team. And Flynn was kind of like left to kind of be that kind of provider to kind of like get through that game in a way. And he really impressed, to be fair. So I like Flynn. I think he's got a good like disciplined temperament. He wants to learn, and he also wants some responsibility as well. And I just hope he kind of gets the right opportunities at Walsall. I know that he probably won't, obviously speaking to you now, he might play every game, but hopefully he gets his times to shine. But
that's it, nice one. Right then, we'll have to cut this a bit short because I've got to get moving.
It's fine.
But that's good. We'll sort of have a catch up sort of mid-season and sort of do a review of how he's doing. And
yes, kids will be fascinated to know.
That'd be good. Nice one.
Yeah, fascinated to know that.
Right then, we'll leave it for now because I need to get to the fans forum. Thanks for watching Wolves Fan TV. The joy and the pain. You'll know all about that as a Norwich fan. Yes. Cheers. I think every team goes through the joy and the pain. That's just our
yes, we do.
For Walsall, we've endured a lot of pain, and we're hoping that's coming to an end.
I think you might have heard like a lot of times, but because I go to watch some away games in Norwich, every time I see the beautiful Walsall Stadium off the motorway, and hopefully it'll remind me of Flynn Clarke this season.
That's it, Final comment. We got Steve Harris made a comment similar to what we mentioned earlier. Really, he's got his work cut out in real football in League 2 compared to the Premier League 2, and I think for any player, regardless of their quality, it's that transition into men's football, as they call it. That's where it makes them or breaks them. So we'll have to see how he does.
But I also think that's a lot about mindset as well. Like some players are like, I want to develop. But I think some players have got to kind of think, yes, I want to do this. I want to do this. I think Flynn is that character. He's a very strong character, and he wants to develop. And Norwich rate him really highly, by the way. Like academy, he's probably like top 5 youngsters in academy. So we're really happy. But I must say, sorry to end on the downer here, but sorry. Flynn, what's his face? What was I going to say? Our loan kind of system. I've criticised recently. I think that we've sent too many players out on loan too early. So I hope that isn't the case with Flynn Clarke.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one.
Yeah, very.
Right then, I've got to get going. Good one. Thanks for coming on. Cheers, Will.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.